Hey, let me talk to you like someone who's actually lived with this soundbar every day, because once you feel what the Beosound Stage actually does for your TV and music, everything weaker suddenly feels like something you used to tolerate instead of enjoy. This isn't for someone who shrugs at thin sound or accepts dialogue that floats in and out. This is for the person who notices when audio has weight, presence, and emotional depth, when effects don't just play, they happen around you. Before anything else, take a moment and check the current price and availability. Premium soundbars like this don't hang around at good value once people start paying attention. You know that moment, you fire up a movie and the sound feels flat, every explosion thumps without nuance, voices feel distant, and you end up turning up the volume hoping that something will finally click? That's exactly when you realize you've outgrown compromise. You've spent too many sessions wondering if better sound is possible instead of just accepting what you have. Then you switch to this. The relief is immediate. Dolby Atmos doesn't just get louder, it places sound. Objects in motion feel anchored in space. Layers of ambience suddenly matter instead of hiding in the mix. Once you feel that level of presence, everything weaker begins to sound restricted. Picture this, you're watching a big action scene and the sound doesn't just hit, it surrounds. You don't just hear rain or footsteps, you sense them around you. Later you play music over Wi-Fi and familiar tracks reveal fullness you never noticed before, vocals with body, bass that's confident without boominess, and mid-range that feels alive. That's not numbers on paper, that's immersion you feel every time you press play. And once you've lived with that kind of spatial clarity and dynamic fidelity, anything less starts to feel like a compromise you shouldn't go back to. Every time you think about weaker gear again, your mind drifts back to how engaged you felt with this. That's loss aversion. You don't want to give that up now that you've experienced it. While that feeling is fresh, check stock again. High-end soundbars with both TV integration and Wi-Fi streaming don't linger when serious listeners start comparing. If you're hesitating because it sounds premium, let's reshape that thought. This isn't about flashy branding, it's about clarity, depth, and presence. It's about every voice feeling anchored, every effect feeling dimensional, and every track feeling alive instead of flat. Here's something most people don't expect until they live with it. Once you've experienced true Atmos placement and nuanced performance together, even everyday shows feel more engaging. You stop listening at the audio and start living in it. You feel sound that actually fills the room. You enjoy clarity that reveals detail. You get immersive audio without distortion. You own gear that matches refined taste. You experience presence that pulls you into every scene. Downsides? It's not tiny. And it isn't the least expensive audio option out there. Those are simply trade-offs for sound that genuinely respects your content instead of just amplifying it. At some point, the endless comparison loop just stops. You already feel which experience satisfies you most. You choose what feels right, not what's uncertain. So don't let this be the upgrade you delay and later think back wishing you grabbed sooner. Decide with confidence, check current availability now, and bring home the kind of sound your instincts have been telling you you deserve.